say it's from Mars, some may call it cheese sauce. It's a morning. You can put it in the lasagna tin, make it thick or thin, and do it your way. When you make bechamel and you add cheese as well, it's a morning.
You're listening to Rebecca Bowen with Quite a Stir on Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM.
Good evening, you're listening to Rebecca Bowen, and tonight we're taking you to Cardiff Market with fresh handmade tortillas and bold mouth-watering flavours. Chances are you've already discovered the Bearded Taco run by Sean and Jake. This independent street food favourite has built a loyal following by doing things their own way, blending global influences with locally sourced ingredients and serving up tacos that are anything but ordinary. We're diving into their story from food truck beginnings to becoming one of Cardiff's go-to spots for creative street food and finding out what really makes their tacos stand out in a growing food scene. So stay tuned because things are about to get real good. Welcome to the show, both.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
Would you like to give shout outs to friends and family and staff listening in?
Well, I definitely have to give a shout out to my little boy Lewin, who is hopefully listening at home with my mum. So hi baby, how you doing?
Hey Lulu.
Get in the bath in a minute.
I love that. That's beautiful. You've dedicated his favourite song tonight. That's one of your music choice.
Yeah.
I love your music choice. Would you like to?
Maybe we should give a shout out to Vish and Esla, our
Yeah.
two rocks that keep the boat floating. So they're
Yeah.
our main.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Our staff, we wouldn't be able to do it without them. They're amazing.
Oh, beautiful. And Nick from Bow Selector, who recommended you guys to me.
Yeah. What's up, Nick?
We love Nick.
I loved him as well. I thought he was great. Okay, the Bearded Taco is a really distinctive brand, born from a shared passion for street food culture, especially informal, personality-driven food rather than a traditional restaurant. The name itself stands out in a crowded street food or pop-up scene, and everyone in that sector needs a strong identity because you're competing for attention in a busy visual space. Great branding. How did the idea first come together between you both?
Well, Sean and I met traveling actually, and we continued to travel for a long time after we first met. And as we developed a relationship, we worked together in hospitality, and we decided we wanted to start a guest house together actually.
Yeah, that was the original kind of plan when we decided we wanted to work for ourselves and not work for anybody else anymore.
And the main reason though, we stayed at this one guest house in New Zealand, and it was a hostel, but every night the hosts would make dinner, and people could come and sit around and enjoy dinner together, and we really loved that idea, and we thought that's something we wanted to do, but we couldn't afford it. So we thought, what could we do that we could start somewhere smaller and build our way up towards something more like that, and that's where we first came up with the idea to do the food truck.
And when it first started, we were talking about it, the street food scene in Cardiff had kind of just not started, but just blown up. There'd been like a year, I think, of Hangfire and Brother Tyre and like the big sort of original guys that had been doing it for about a year, and there was nobody at the time in Cardiff doing Mexican food.
Oh, okay.
And that was always, it was never even without that, it was never a question for you, really, was it?
Well, tacos definitely.
Tacos, yeah, because that's what Jake grew up eating, and it was his favourite food, and so that was always the idea. But in terms of the branding, like, honestly, like, it all just, I still sometimes think I have a bit of like imposter syndrome, where I'm still surprised when people say things like, oh, you've got strong branding, or you've got, and I think we still just kind of feel like we're plodding along. And
we wrote a business plan when we first started, and it was very short and simple. It said we wanted to make enough money to cover our bills and to be able to travel.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was our goal.
And we wanted to make good food, obviously. And I mean, from my point of view, I never really worried about that because I'm not the food person. Jake is the person that cooks. And I already knew that he made delicious food, so I wasn't so worried about that. But the branding and like the logo and everything, actually, it was all like one of our really good friends, Megan, she's a friend of ours from California. She drew everything for us. She's not a professional artist, she's a teacher, but she's a really good artist, and we kind of chatted to her about what we wanted, and she came up with some designs, and it was just really quickly we were like, yeah, we love that. And then she actually made all of our original like t-shirts and business cards. She just hand drew everything, and then painted our original like sign that we had on the truck, and we built everything. Like we made all the signage, and we friends and family helped us paint everything.
Fantastic.
And so it was all just a very kind of grassroots, small,
made from love.
Yeah, lots of love, and we never really thought about it, if I'm honest, too much in terms of like, how will this look in the space? How will we fit aesthetically? And
yeah, we just kind of whacked it together.
Yeah, like
what felt right and good to us. Yeah.
Colours we liked, and like the name was kind of tongue in cheek, and obviously he's got a big beard and stuff like that.
I love it. Yeah.
We had a few different names actually in the beginning, didn't we? But
there were like some more like Spanish and traditional names, and but then we just came up with this, and we both laughed, and it was kind of
brilliant.
Just went with it. And then all of the names of our tacos when we came up with it originally on the truck were all like puns, and so it was kind of like a bit tongue in cheek. So yeah, we just kind of just put our personalities and our love into it, and just really hoped for the best.
Yeah, well, it's working for you guys.
Thank you.
And speaking of glow-ups and your original idea and wanting to have this dream of a guest house, last week I heard that Tom of Gorse, who's Michelin star now, he started with a pop-up. Sky's the limit. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Is that where we went recently, Gorse?
We went.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Oh, so good.
Not jealous at all.
It was like a friends visiting Christmas treat.
Oh.
But it was incredible. We were really, really impressed with the food. It was amazing.
Oh, lucky you. Now, places like San Diego and Los Angeles, they have their own taco culture. So the Cardiff, California identity, it means inspiration, flavour, style and attitude to tacos. But your home base of Cardiff, the personality and the community, and that combination is why the brand feels so distinctive for me. It's not trying to be a traditional taqueria, and it's not just another UK street food stall either. It sits somewhere between borrowing the best bits of the West Coast taco culture and making it your own. Now, how has that shaped your approach to tacos?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, actually. But
yeah, it's really lovely to hear somebody put it like that, actually.
Yeah. For us, again, the original inspirations were, I always knew it would want to be tacos, but for me, the tortilla was like an edible spoon, and I thought it would be a good vessel to deliver flavors from around the world, and I just wanted to share some of the amazing stuff that we had tried in our travels, and I'll do my best version of it, and the taco seemed like a great way to deliver that, and as well as to pay homage to like where I grew up and how I grew up. So initially, like when I was younger and I had these great grand ideas, that's where it started. And so taking that foundation from me growing up and using our experiences to bring something new to Cardiff, because I think Sean mentioned when we started, nobody was doing tacos, and no one really understood them either. They didn't know what they were, and
it was actually kind of a hard sell for us in the very beginning. If we're up against, not up against, we all work together, we loved working with each other, but if we're working with pizzas and burgers and that kind of thing, that's just was more familiar to the Cardiff audience at the time. We're obviously talking 10, 11 years ago?
16,
yeah. 10 years ago. It's much more prevalent now, and there's lots of other amazing sort of Mexican and taco trucks that have come about. But yeah, people didn't always really know what it was, and often people would come up and they're like, oh, I don't really know what this is, and then they'd eat it and they'd love it, and then they'd come back, and so it grew quite slowly in the very beginning, and then obviously it took off. But
yeah, so I think that's what made Cardiff perfect, though, because I wouldn't have the confidence to even think about trying in San Diego or in California generally, because it's everywhere and it's honestly better. So
I don't think that's true. You make delicious tacos.
I wouldn't have the confidence.
There. He wouldn't say that.
I know.
But here, to be able to share that and just use it as more like, I wanted to share something with people, and it was a good place to do it.
And like Jake said, we travelled a lot, and we met in South Korea, and we lived in South Korea, and we travelled a lot around Asia. So a lot of our taco combinations to begin with were kind of based on, so we have like a Korean barbecue pork taco and Vietnamese banh mi taco, and so we would just think about things that we loved to eat and try and recreate that.
So you bang on trend as well with them. So it can be a taco, but you just bang on trend with the fillings.
Yeah, definitely in the beginning. I think the market we've gone, it is more kind of traditional.
Yeah, the older we get, the older I get, the more I feel like I want to pay more respect to what I grew up with, and
yeah, it's great.
So yeah.
But speaking of not everyone knows what it is, my mother this evening, she said, "What's a taco?" I said, "It's a fried tortilla shape." And then and she was like, "All right, now I know."
Yeah, I know.
She knew what it was, but she didn't know the name. I was thinking, okay.
Definitely. And even my family, my mum and everyone, was sort of the same in the beginning. But it's really funny because when me and Jake very first met, like right in the beginning, like in the bar that we met at, we're having a conversation and talking about, things you like and things you don't. Yeah. And we talked about food, and I can't remember how it came up, but I'd said like one of my least favourite things to eat was Mexican food, and I think it honestly almost ended the relationship before it began. And he was just like, "What are you talking about?" And then I think he understood when he first came here, like it's not like we grew up obviously here, like the other different kinds of cuisines that we had were probably more Indian and Chinese and those kind of things, and Mexican wasn't something that has traditionally been like eaten a lot of here. And so I think it was more that just at that point in my life I didn't really know.
You hadn't had it.
I hadn't really had it.
She had Las Iguanas. I'm not sure if that's
I know what you mean.
Disrespectful to say, but
no, it's not, because I'll still go there and I'll enjoy the meal. I love me some fajitas, and that's delicious, but it's
not authentic, is it?
And then the first time he ever took me home to meet his family in California, and he took me to all his favourite taquerias.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is incredible. This is amazing. I just didn't know this is how this was supposed to taste. And now you can obviously get that a lot more here as well as time has gone on. But right in the beginning, And
could have been a deal breaker for you guys.
It could have, I know, honestly, yeah, it could have been.
Everything else was clicking, but
luckily he'd had enough whiskies by then to brush over it.
Acceptable, yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
I don't even know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, so when you said about your mum, one of the things I absolutely love actually, when we do weddings, obviously when you cater a wedding, there's people there from like 3-year-olds to 90-year-olds, like it's the whole spectrum of your family. And they, you're there and you're the only option, and often it's not food that an older generation may have eaten before. No. And I love it when it's always the older people that come and they're like, I've never eaten anything like that before. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. And it just fills my heart then that they might then go on and have found a new love for that kind of food and be a bit more experimental or want to try and eat that again. And that makes me really happy.
Yes, you're doing something right, guys. Well done. Let's have our first track. Would you like to introduce it? Is your little boy's favourite?
Yes, this is Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan, and it is one of Lewin's absolute favourite songs at the moment. I think probably because his favourite colour is pink.
Lovely.
But yeah, he loves it, so this is for him. Dedicate that to him.
Beautiful.
Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM.
You're listening to Rebecca Bowen with Quite a Stir on Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM.
Welcome back to the show. I am joined with Jake and Sean of the Bearded Taco. Fantastic show. I'm loving every minute of it. What made Cardiff Market the right home for your business?
That was also a pretty easy decision for us. We've always been pretty against the idea of bricks and mortars generally, but
against for us, not obviously.
Just for our business. It's just we were very happy being out in the fields and out in the food truck. But the first time I came to Cardiff, I fell in love with Cardiff Market. It's always been my favourite building in the city.
Yeah.
There's something very, very charming about it. And it was the one place that if an opportunity came up, we would have considered. And our friend Jez from Furnace Pizza kind of planted the seed. And at first I was like, I don't know. But he kept kind of
because they were the first street food guys to from our street food
group,
scene to go into the market. And Jez had a love for the market in the same way that we did. And for me especially, I'm a Cardiff girl. I grew up in Cardiff. I've been going to the market since I was with my nan, and and it had the pet shops and everything, and we'd had some other opportunities for other things, but which all sounded great, but we didn't want to be tied down to anything for a really long time. And then things started to change, obviously, when we had our little boy, because, we knew he was going to start school and we weren't able to be as transient as we had always been. And so, when the opportunity came up, and it's still got that, so rather than being in a brick and mortar that you're sort of tied to and it's just you guys, we love the idea that it's still that street food scene. It's a lot of different traders and it's people from all over Cardiff in there, and I love that it isn't just street food. It's still kept that original charm that everybody loves about Cardiff Market, with Ashton's and the butchers and the
Fruit
haberdasheries
store,
and just
yeah.
everything. All of the different traders and. But then it's had an injection of sort of newer street food, so you're sort of blending that kind of older, more traditional with something a bit new, but not losing. Either one
not
of
losing
them.
the charm, and you have a love for the place anyway. And the night markets.
Yeah, so excited.
This weekend,
Go on.
yeah.
There's one coming up, so we've got one this Saturday. I don't know what the date is this Saturday,
25th,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
it's a Motown show, isn't
That's
it?
It is a Motown show, which I'm very excited about. I just messaged my girls actually, and my mum. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing this Saturday?" My mum loves Motown.
Me too.
Yeah, I do too. We're doing a Motown night soon actually with my mum and the girls.
fab.
Yeah, so that'll be really exciting.
Is that a singer or just a DJ?
I actually
Just
don't
a
know. I think it's a
DJ,
DJ.
yeah.
Do they have singers in there?
They have done, yeah. Because they collaborate with some of that, like Soon Festival, and
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
so there's been live music. There's been live DJs. There's lots
So
of.
it's a vibe.
Cool, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be more often now. I think they're
Yeah.
hoping to
Every
try,
month,
like
I
once
think.
a month, at least
Yeah.
once a month to have, because they go, it goes down really well.
Are you licensed? What do you think about being licensed?
The market, I don't think is
No,
licensed.
that's the problem. Yeah, we would love to.
We
be.
have a personal alcohol license because we've had alcohol on the truck before. Wherever we trade, if there's an alcohol license and we're able to sell, we can because we have a personal one. But I don't think the Cardiff market itself has one.
There's a night market with a disco and you can't have a drink.
I know.
Oh.
But then we're right next to City Arms, and is City Arms? Not City Arms, yeah. What am I thinking of? What's the pub that's literally
The rugby-
Old Arcade?
Yeah, the arcade.
Sorry,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Old Arcade's this. You
Oh,
can
yeah, of course
pop
it is.
Literally, like where we are.
Yeah.
When you come in from the Old Arcade entrance, we're right in the corner, so you can like pop out, have a drink in there, come in, get some food, pop back out.
Would they ever be able to have a license in there, do you think?
I don't know the answer to that question, to be
No,
honest.
okay.
I'd have to ask. I'd be a good person to have on. Louise from the market. She
Louise?
runs- Yeah.
Come on down.
Come on down, Louise. She'd be the best person to ask, I think. I don't know what the
a different conversation for another day.
The logistics
Yeah.
behind that would be.
Fair
And,
enough.
I don't even know because obviously they can be quite expensive, alcohol licenses. But
We're up for it.
if there was one, I'd be doing margaritas. and-
Fabulous. Love those.
Yeah, I know.
Now, your menu mixes global influences. The most unexpected flavour combo you have, I would say the wildest one arguably, is the gin and tonic tempura avocado taco. So that's an avocado coated in a gin and tonic flavoured batter. I looked on your reviews. Then fried and served with citrus slaw and chipotle sauces. It's basically turning a cocktail into a taco component, but it works really, really well. You've got like this Mexican-based tortilla and structure layered with all these beautiful flavours. What's the strangest or most unusual taco you have?
Well, about the avocado taco, that was actually Sean's idea.
That was my idea.
Great idea.
Jake was
Well,
not.
I
on board
didn't
when
think so
first
at first. Yeah,
He was like, "What, fried avocado?"
yeah, because I've been a cook since I was 17 years old, and the idea of hot avocado really bothered me.
Okay.
And she kept going on about it. I'm like, fine, I'll make it. To prove you wrong.
It was literally like the first event we done was at the depot, which is actually just over here, not far from where we are now. And they had a gin. It was a gin festival, so that's where the gin and tonic side of it came from.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they had a gin festival, and we were trying to think of like different tacos that kind of fit the theme.
Plus, we wanted to make something really good, a vegan or vegetarian
a
option.
really good, something different that
Brilliant
wasn't
idea.
just
I don't. Yeah.
mushrooms or
Yeah, exactly.
the usual kind of fare. We wanted something that would stand out, and that's to this day we've never been able to take it off the menu because it's always our most kind of talked about.
I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
it
come in
is.
and try
It's,
that.
if when we do it in the market, we don't actually do it with the gin and tonic anymore in the market because we got asked quite a lot.
It's,
Like,
the
like,
gin's
oh, can you
missing.
do it
but
with the alcohol?
yeah.
Always still with the tonic because that's what gives it the lightness in
Yeah, in the batter,
In the
yeah,
batter.
yeah.
But yeah, on the truck we did it, and it was So that's where that kind of come. I'm not trying to think what our most unusual.
We did, so again in our first year at Depot, they did Oktoberfest, and we would take every booking we could possibly get, and it was an Oktoberfest, and I take themes very seriously. Like, I could have just showed up with the regular menu, but it was all German themed, so we did a schnitzel taco.
That was also lush. I love
It was good, but
That
the
was my
weirdest
sister's
one,
favourite, that was.
the schnitzel was good, and like we did that more, but we did a currywurst taco, and that was probably the most unusual one I
Yeah.
can remember that we did. It was good,
did,
but
yeah.
it didn't go viral. So-
It was a good good attempt though. We did one as well where you did an In-N-Out cheeseburger taco.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So in California, they like Jake's favourite ultimate, like, but I love it too, like burger place is In-N-Out. And they just do a really amazing, just kind of very simple but delicious cheeseburger. And you turned it into a taco.
Yeah. That kind of makes more sense, I think. But yeah. There was a bunch of weird ones. We'd try, before we opened, we would just make... We had a notebook, and we would write down ideas and have friends over and just make all sorts of...
Yeah.
We did, like, a play on a Reuben sandwich taco. We did, like,
for that depot one, we did... didn't you cure... You dry cured salmon, and you made your own cheese, like cream cheese. It was like a salmon cream cheese taco. Yeah. Used to, like, well, because we do make everything from scratch, you know, like tortillas and everything, and Jake's very, like, wants to, if he can make it himself, he wants to do it. Especially in the very beginning when we were just playing around all the time with different ideas.
We've honed it in a bit since,
we've reined it in a bit since then. You learn what works and what sells and what people want and what people keep coming back for, and you do tend to kind of get into a rhythm. We try to put specials on now at the market, so we have like a base menu, and then Jake will just be like, oh, let's try this or let's try that. But
clever guy. Yeah. You've been a chef for 17 years, did you say?
Longer, since I started when I was 17, when I was in high school,
So where did you first?
Just at a local bar in my, I grew up in a small town in California, and basically I just wanted a job, and they had one, and it was, you know, not a passion thing, it was just an opportunity. And then as I went through life in uni, like cooking was a job that I could do, and I just kind of got better at it. And as we were traveling, cooking was a job that I could do, and just fell more in love with it. And just kind of, it wasn't really intention, but it stuck, and here we are.
And it always worked well for us because, like I said, we've always worked together, and when we travelled we could do restaurant jobs together because I would do front of house and Jake would work in the kitchen, and we would fight all the time about it.
Now you've got a great connection. Dream team. Now you say everything is made from scratch, including your tortillas. That's a graft. Is it more economical to make your own then?
Well, we've never done the math on that.
Not if you include the hours of the graft that it takes to do it.
It's a graft.
From an ingredients point of view, probably.
Yeah, if you took... Yeah.
It's never been about that, though.
Oh,
for
okay.
us. It's never been about what would or wouldn't save us money with the tortilla side of it. Jake was adamant from the beginning. I think sometimes I had said, like, you sure? Because it was a lot of hours. It is a lot of hours for Jake to make them. But you can really tell this.
You can,
Yeah, I think so.
We just wanted to do our best, and like everything we could do to make it the best version of it that we could, we wanted to do, so that was important to me. Sometimes I regret it.
Well, it's the thing that takes the longest for sure, like especially if we do like really big events, then, you know.
Yeah, but we used to live down at Nash Point Lighthouse, and I would make the tortillas on the food truck overlooking the Bristol Channel and the lighthouse, so there was also a lot of very beautiful. Relaxing, beautiful.
Therapeutic, yeah.
So it took a long time, but it wasn't the worst way to spend my time.
No, for sure.
Nice music on in the background, great view.
Oh,
that's it.
Idyllic life, that, no?
It was amazing.
If someone's trying you for the first time, what's the one taco that defines the bearded taco? Which one would you recommend, like, to talk them in?
It's gotta be the avocado.
Yeah, like I said, people still will talk about it, or it's the thing that's like the most different and that's always got us the most kind of attention. Our most popular one, probably though, right now in the market is the carnitas, which is a very traditional, a more traditional Mexican.
Yeah, that's more of a play on the stuff that I grew up eating, and stuff that makes me like feel for home. And
what's your favorite one?
My favorite's we do a Korean one sometimes.
So good.
But again, that's a callback to like where Sean and I met, and we had so many amazing memories together. And it took me a really long time to develop that. Like, I had the concept, and then I made the first one, and I'm like, nah, that's not it. It was about 2 years of playing around with it till I got it to. I just wanted it to taste like a memory, and really I feel like I got there.
No, it's one of my favourites too, I would say.
That's your fan. You have to come in and try that one as well. You're making them all sound incredible. Now, sustainability is clearly part of your ethos. So how do you make that work in a busy street food setting? Operating sustainably in a fast-paced street food environment isn't easy. Speed, cost, waste usually pull in the opposite direction. But tacos are naturally quite sustainable as a format. You know, they're portion controlled. You use cuts or meat that might otherwise be underused, garnishes, pickles, slaws, sauces that tend to be thrown away. So you often see leftover veg turned into those kind of things. Minimal packaging, compostable trays, paper wraps, wooden forks, avoiding plastics when possible, serving food that doesn't need heavy packaging, and batch cooking done right, you know, prep, marinade, slow cooked meat sauces. That balance is key in busy market or events. How do you manage that sustainability?
I mean, I think you've just kind of said all the stuff that I'm trying to say, to be honest. That's kind of it.
Sound great, yeah.
Yeah, that I think. I mean, I'd love to do more. I'm always kind of thinking about how we can be, you know, more sustainable. Like with the food shop, we always talk about trying to get solar panels and, you know, that kind of, you know, all those things that are possible that, you know, I'll be honest, we haven't quite got to yet. All the things that are on the list that have been on there forever, but it's like you just said, you know, from the beginning we've always used compostable packaging, making everything from scratch, obviously, cuts down on wastage, it cuts down on packaging, you know, it cuts down on, you know, transport. So, you know, we do try our best to do it that way. We buy a lot of produce from Cardiff Market, so now that we're in the market, that's great. So yeah, it's just trying to do all the things that you said, really.
Yeah, we don't waste much either. I'm like famously very tight, so
yes. I can attest to
and
that.
I just hate waste generally, so I'm very good at managing it. And like, what's the organization that comes around and it like gives sells on an app for cheaper? They're always trying to get us best.
Oh yeah, good food to go. So
okay, I know what you mean.
They've always tried to get us to be a part of it, but we never have anything left over. So
that's great, though, isn't it?
And that's where we've been good at that.
And we've always, I mean, with street food as well on the food truck, sometimes that was tricky because you don't always know what to prep for in the beginning, but you do get used to it and you kind of get an idea of it. But now if we do an event, because we've got the market as well, if it all doesn't go on the truck, you know, if we're in the market the next day, then, you know, so that's...
makes it easier.
Yeah.
Plus there was a lot of tacos for breakfast.
I was going to say, and then we just eat everything, or, you know...
as you do.
Or friends within the market, you know, if you're about to close up and you've got some stuff left over, you might just go and speak to some of your friends and say, do you want to take some dinner home? And they'll say yes, and they'll do the same. And
yeah, my mechanic gets paid in tacos.
You know, just paying everyone in life through tacos.
Brilliant idea. Now, you're talking about your food truck. You started out in a converted food truck. What were those days like?
Oh.
They were hard, but they were fun. It was a lot of 20-hour days. But like, we just took everything we could, and we had the energy for it.
We were much younger and childless. We were getting...
And we really wanted to make this thing work, so we just, again, whatever came along, we took it. So we did end up doing some Oktoberfests, and...
we did a lot of random stuff, but we did a lot of really great events, and we made, like I said, you know, we made some really good friends in street food. And we worked in other places. I will say, I know I'm a Cardiff girl, I'm from Cardiff, but the Cardiff street food scene, the camaraderie just between the traders was... not seen that everywhere. I'm sure it's the same in lots of other places, and people will say that about their own cities, but everybody just wanted to help each other.
That's nice.
There was no... It didn't feel like a...
competitive.
Yeah, it didn't feel like we were against each other. Everyone
we're a
wanted to work
community,
together. We're a community, that's the right word.
lovely.
Like a really good community. We met lifelong friends doing it. And we just had a really good time. Like you could just tell everyone was just having a really good time. We just loved it and loved being there, and it was a lot of hard work. It's still hard work now, but in a different way.
It's hard physical work, but like, it's one of those things where I still like what I do, and I think that's kind of the dream. Like, when we first started, we put because before this, maybe the longest I'd ever worked in a place was 2 years. Then I get bored, move on, find someone else. And we thought, okay, we can do this for 5 years maybe, and then we'll figure something else out. But we're 10 years in now. It's just a really neat job. And again, being in street food, our office changes with every event, so there's no time to get bored, really.
No.
Yeah, beautiful. like constant reinvention without losing your identity. You know, you don't sit on fixed menus, new specials, rotating flavours, and they're all key. Street food is competitive, but it's nice that you've got that community.
Yeah, for
How
sure.
do you guys stay ahead of the game?
I don't know that we do we?
You do.
I think we're constantly just concerned that it's going to end any moment.
Yeah,
so
don't take it for granted.
yeah, just have fun. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's an occasional panic, and then that's when you take stock, look for advice, and maybe just make small adjustments. But I think for us, the main thing is to keep having fun. And
Yeah.
Definitely.
That shows.
when it stops being fun, then there's a problem.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
I
But yeah,
agree.
staying ahead of the game, I mean,
We're not good about it. We don't understand trends or...
yeah, we're not the best like business people really, which is
No.
funny
I
because
would
obviously
not say. I'd
know,
say you're
people say-
smashing it.
And people say that, you know, I just think honestly, and I say this to anyone because I do still often get people starting out and they'll maybe message us and be like, oh, do you have any advice? Or and I always just think, make good food. Like if you can make good food that you love and that you put some passion into it. I think sometimes if people, they have this idea for something, but it comes because they maybe do look at trends and they do think like, oh, this is what's missing and I'll do that, rather than just thinking this is what I'm passionate about and this is the food that I love. And I was like, if you love it and you're passionate about it and you put it out there and it's good, and then yeah, of course you need some decent branding, and I feel like we got lucky with that maybe, but
I feel like we got lucky with all of it. It's just-
yeah,
it's
it does just feel like, but for me personally, and I feel like I can say this, like I said, because Jake is the one that makes the food. I think he consistently makes delicious food. Like he's put, and it's still us. So Jake is still hand making all these tortillas. We're still making all our food ourselves and putting ourselves into the business. And so I think maybe that hopefully comes across. And that the quality just stays good, and I think that's the way to kind of maybe stay in it, is just we still love it, like Jake said, we're still passionate about it and we still want to make good food, and I think if you do that, then you know, keep making the kind of food that people like. And then
I think the key element with you guys is you're very personable. You know, even when we're having a chat off here, you were very personable. You're really people.
Oh.
And when you were talking about you've networked with this person who's just smashed your branding, it's because of your personalities as well that you're making those connections. It's not just fake. Not everyone's like that. So
Very sweet to
don't take
say.
that for granted. You're really, really lovely people.
Oh, thank you.
Let's have our second track. Would you like to introduce it by Johnny Cash?
Yes, was it the
Wedding song?
Oh, this is our wedding song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Darling Companion, and it's Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash.
Yeah.
We both love Johnny and June.
Yeah.
Again, you're so personable. I love that you've shared your wedding song with us. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Let's
you're
hear the
welcome.
track.
Hope you guys like it.
Whether you're black or whether you're white, you gotta know that the music gonna play all night on Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM. Rango, tell your friend, tell your friend, tell your friend.
You're listening to Rebecca Bowen with Quite a Stir on Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM.
Welcome back to the show. We got a little bit of feedback. Oh yes, my fault. I told the engineer to turn the last song up because I wanted to hear it. Welcome back. We are with Jake and Sean of The Bearded Taco. Now, with a strong recognisable brand, the name and the visuals are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. In a busy market or festival, people often choose with their eyes first, you know. A clear identity helps you stand out instantly and makes you memorable enough for them to come back. And street food is theatre. Quick chats while you wait, really connecting with the customer, which you nailed the brief there. Music, energy, personality at the stall, food that looks and smells great even before you taste it. But smart event selection will elevate you. Not all footfall is equal. The best traders pick festivals that match their vibe. Locations where their style of food stands out, repeat events where they build a following, and being in the right place matters as much as the food itself. What key elements are a must in any event that you decide on?
It's a really interesting question, actually. Like Jake said, in the very beginning, we actually just took everything that kind of came our way.
And then we tried to figure out who our people were.
Yeah. You're just kind of like figuring it out in the beginning. And like, you know, when we started, there weren't a lot of people to ask and stuff anyway, so we were just figuring everything out for ourselves and just trying everything and seeing what worked and then going back to the things that did work. And even actually in the beginning, like I said, some things it took a little while to warm up, and then they became some of our sort of best events. But we were lucky when we started. It was Street Food Circus was I think they'd only done like a year or two, and it just gone massive, and
we fit in there really well.
We fit in there really well. It's like just a really good like band of people. Again, very eclectic as well, like all kind of different foods from different places. So that was, and you know, Street Food Circus, it's got the circus vibe, and there was always good music, and so that kind of thing.
And Depot was big for us in the
Depot
beginning.
was really big for us in the beginning.
You did that, yeah.
Yeah, there were certain things. It was more figuring out what didn't work for us in the beginning. Like we never did well at any kind of sporting event. Anything that was like anything that where people just wanted a quick like. And I do it myself. I was just like, oh, I just really fancy a
chips.
burger, or
it was always,
you know, I just want
do you sell chips?
I just want fish and chips, or you know, and I'll still do that myself. But there were some events where that's all people wanted, and we were like, this isn't really working for us. But we are very fortunate that as time went on, we could be like a bit more selective.
Pick and
choose.
Yeah, we figured out where we belonged.
Yeah. Food festivals, always food festivals were good, because I think when people are going to a food festival, they're going because they want something different.
Course, yeah.
They're not going because they want something they can make at home or that they can get at the chippy. They're going because they're like, I want to try lots of different bits. And that worked for us being tacos, because you know, you buy 2 tacos and you could still eat something else as well, or you could share 2. You know, you'll have one each and then you can still go and eat something else. But
we found a very special home with Green Man Festival.
Green Man is our only like big festival that we still do, and we love Green Man. It's such a good festival. Like the crowd there is incredible. The music is always really good. Other really good food, and we found a home there. Like Lewin comes, our little one, he came his first one when he was 6 months old, and he's come every time since. So that's become a really special one for us. But I think as time went on as well, we just became a bit smarter about the questions we would ask up front as well, about what their footfall might be, you know, asking if we can speak to other traders that maybe done it before. In the beginning, you kind of feel like you can't ask those questions because you're just grateful that you maybe getting a spot somewhere. And then you do just kind of try to learn about, you know, where you might fit, and there's all sorts of things, you know, cost obviously.
Pitch fees.
It's gone a bit crazy with pitch fees these days. But to be expected, because you know the cost of everything has gone up. So you know they're just trying to put on a good event still, and costs for them go up, so costs for us go up, and so we don't do as much with the truck as we used to.
The weddings and events, you still.
I love the weddings. I love weddings, and it's somebody's celebration. They've chosen you to be there. Everyone is just happy, and we still do the weddings. Again, not as many as we used to. We used to do maybe 25, 30 weddings a year, and now we maybe do 5 or 6.
Still keep your hand in. Great though. Your speed and consistency under pressure is a must-have skill for street food, and I think Fresh Baguette are a perfect example of this. You know, tight prep systems, a menu designed for fast assembly, consistency even when it's hectic. It's a balancing act which you manage beautifully. What's your secret?
I think you kind of have it or you don't, actually.
So it's not something you learn, you just got to...
I've tried to teach a lot of people over the years that, like, but in my experience, it's like you can learn it, but it's just something that you can do, I think.
Great organizational skills.
Something like that, you just be able to move fast, and you have to be able to think 5 steps ahead.
You're definitely very good at that. I had to learn that doing this side of it, because I worked in event management and front of house hospitality my whole life. So the bit about, you know, and you said chatting to customers, all that.
That's why you're so good at it.
I was all right with that. I was like, I've done this. Like, I love people. I love talking to people. Probably too much, actually. Sometimes Jake's like, you know, you want to move this queue along, and I'm like finding out somebody's grandmother's name and where we all went to school, and but so. I had to learn that with the food side of it. I was much slower when we began than I am now. I'm definitely still not as fast as he is. But like we said as well, we've got really good staff now, and it takes a while to get to that point and to train them. And like Jake said, some of that stuff you can't actually train. And so we've been very lucky that we've got wonderful people that work for us that can not only get food out quickly, but like you said, still keeping the quality that
consistency.
It's important to get food out quickly, but not if it's going out bad. Like that's more important, I think, to give people quality over speed. And we won't get food out as fast as some people will do it faster than others. There's always, you know, someone, like if you're at a big festival, like if you you know, if you can make like a massive pot of like, you know, curry or chili or something, that's obviously easier to.
Of course it is, yeah.
But, you know, we still make everything to order.
Scratch, yeah.
But we've obviously already pre-made, like, you know, our meat cooks slowly for hours, and so all of that's kind of already done. But it's just cooking it and assembling it there and then. But we've got
that took practice as well.
Yeah,
though.
that
Like
takes practice.
Well, there's more menus that are more efficient than others, so it depends like how big the festival is going to be or how many people we know we need to feed, and we know what menu we can use that is going to get the food out the quickest.
Yeah. And even just, sorry.
No, go on.
Just working out systems of like, how many orders should we take and then we make the, like keeping your queue like moving. So, you know, I've kind of found over time that people are actually happier to be stood in line to order than they are to then wait for their food. So it's like, if I've stood in line for 20 minutes, I'm chatting, blah, 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 and then I come up and I order, but then I don't want to wait another half an hour for my food. So it's kind of, and that, like you said, that's just taken time to develop like a system, you know, that works. And I think most people in street food will say you develop your own like system that works to keep your queue moving. Yeah.
It's not easy, is it?
It's not easy, no.
What's your most popular taco?
Yeah, probably the avocado or the
Just the carnitas is the most popular. Yeah, I think
anything
it's the most
pork.
Pork always is the biggest.
Yeah.
I think in Wales and in Cardiff, it's the most approachable. So
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so.
What's your dream collaboration, any chef or food brand worldwide?
since it's a dream,
They could be past, present, dead, alive.
yeah, Anthony Bourdain would.
He's a popular choice, yeah.
Yeah,
Is he?
people say
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, he would probably make me cry, but yeah, he's the chef that in my life I've always enjoyed his work the most.
Okay.
I don't think he's maybe the most he's my favorite, but yeah, I've always enjoyed his work the most. Like his work, not just cooking, but
Well, he did a lot of shows where he travelled in like to places.
Brazil and scary places.
Yeah, well, he had parts unknown,
favelas.
didn't he? You just go to all of these places that people might not want to travel to, and he would always just eat anything.
Yeah.
Try anything.
and he would talk to people about why they ate and what they ate, and I loved that about the stuff that he
Yeah,
did.
the connection between people and their food and you know the
It's
culture.
important,
and
isn't
yeah,
it?
absolutely.
I love
Food's
that.
a massive part of our lives.
What about you? What's your dream collab?
Do you know what? I can't say that I have one because I would same Anthony Bourdain, but I think honestly for me, I just love the idea of maybe working with other street food traders that I know and love. So like Nick, I'm like, hey, let's do a bao taco,
Great
collaboration, or other people that we've like worked with that are like local. Like I love the idea of collaborating with
Great
friends.
answer.
We used to, during lockdown and COVID, Ollie and Katie from Tokyo Nights and us used to get together in our yards and try new stuff out, because they were doing poutine at the time, but they were going to start out this new concept, this Tokyo Night concept. So we'd come over and we'd have yakitori together, and we'd try out a bunch of new stuff. So that was really fun times.
And we'd like mix them and
Cool.
That's always the best, isn't it? When
Yeah.
you're cooking with your friends, there's nothing better than that.
Best
is it?
time. What's next for the Bearded Taco? More locations, more events, or are you keeping it local? You did say what the dream was to have this, well, like Airbnb or hotel.
I think we
haven't talked about that in a long time, yeah.
We've sort of moved.
But on the
It's not
back
off the-
burner.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever like completely off the table. I think
We're doing more events this year than we have in the past few years.
we concentrated on the market the last couple of years, and obviously again because our boy was much smaller, that was important for us to have the time with him. Because the events take up a lot of time, like Jake said, hours and hours, and Jake being away from home a lot to prep more food. But we are doing more events this year. Green Man Festival again. There's a couple others we're trading out. I'm not sure if I can say because I don't know if the events have been announced. So, but you'll see us more street food events in Cardiff
exciting.
than we had done for a bit, and then.
We have been working on a project for about 5 years.
Ooh.
It's not that exciting actually, but
I think it's exciting. Exciting
because
for
we
us.
make the tortillas. We want to share the tortillas.
Yeah. So we were really fortunate. I think it was last year. We got a grant from the Vale of Glamorgan Council, Prosperity Fund, I think it was called. I'm allowed to shout that out, I think. And it was for us to develop a new tortilla business where we'll obviously make them at a bigger scale and sell them probably more business to business. So like I said, there's lots more of the Mexican and taquerias coming up around.
Maybe Tesco or something like that?
It's the tricky thing with that is because we make them without any preservatives or anything at all, the shelf life isn't very long. And obviously when you buy them in Mexico, it's like tortillas like we would eat bread. So you can buy bread, put it on the shelf for 3 days, and it's fine, it'll sell. And it's harder to get in with the kind of supermarkets because it's a harder sell when you've got a shorter shelf life. But they can also be frozen, so that's like an element if we were going to go down that road. But we're initially thinking business to business, and then we sell them already at the market store. So if anybody is listening and they do want fresh made tortillas, we sell them already from our stall at Cardiff Market.
Yeah, and you can do lots with tortillas. You don't just have to, not everyone's a great chef, so they don't have to make the tacos. They can make Doritos.
You
can make nachos.
You can cut them up and fry them, and you can make fried tortillas or quesadillas. Anything at all. And we sell a lot of. We've got like a retail shelf on our market, so if people are thinking about making tacos but they don't know where to start, they can always come in and ask us. We've got lots of stuff that they can buy.
Really?
And then we've often took shared recipes with people to help them.
I love that.
Yeah. So if anyone's thinking about doing it, they don't know where to start, they can speak to him though, not me.
So quick fire round: soft shell or hard shell taco?
Oh, soft.
Spicy or mild?
Spicy.
Most popular taco? You're pissed off. We've covered that one. One ingredient you couldn't live without?
Chili.
Salt.
Ooh. Okay, chili. How spicy are you going with your chili?
I like chili to complement, not take over. So
okay.
I mean, I know we all have different levels of tolerance, but I think it should be a flavor and it should complement rather than.
What's your favourite chili? I mean, like Scotch bonnet, Trinidad scorpion, jalapeno.
I do love the humble jalapeno. Actually, I love the flavor of a jalapeno. And
me too.
Yeah, there's a
habanero. I like habanero.
Habaneros are nice. Serranos are nice. Yeah.
Okay. Street food or fine dining?
Street food.
Yeah. Early start or late night prep?
Oh, late night prep.
I prefer an early start.
Yeah, but come on, it's been way more late night prep.
I'll do whatever it takes, but the dream is,
Me either, he is. I'm not. Cardiff Market or food festival vibes?
That's tricky. If you'd asked me a few years ago, I would have definitely said food festival vibes. But we're older now, so maybe,
Cardiff
They both have, what I love about the market is the routine of it, actually, again, which I would not have liked in my younger life, but I like that I know where everything is and I know how to get things done more easily.
And we see the same people every day, great people.
Constant hot running water. There's
nice.
Lots of benefits from having it.
Yeah.
But once you do something like Green Man and you stand back and you look at this thing that you've built and accomplished, it's like...
It is amazing.
Yeah,
both.
Wow.
We love both.
Both. A dream place in the world to serve your food, your dream place?
Oh, well, I mean, I want to say Mexico, but I would be very intimidated to serve it in Mexico. But I love it in Mexico, so I'd love to go there. And we always said Portugal, didn't we? We love Portugal as a place to...
That would...
Okay.
We travel there quite a bit, and I would love to just kind of...
Just have a little taco shack.
Nice.
Just like fish tacos, just by the sea.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Lovely.
That's the dream.
So that's your go-to comfort food. Or what's your go-to comfort food that's not a taco?
For me, it's noodles. Any sort of...
Oh, okay. You love your ramen?
Oh, yeah. Ramen...
Yeah.
Check out tonkotsu.
Yeah.
Probably a Sunday roast.
Sunday roast, classic British.
For like the comfort, or even just like beans on toast, maybe. Just
okay.
Simple like that.
One word to describe the bearded taco.
Lush.
Delicious, but you can't just choose one word. And that was Sean and Jake from the Bearded Taco sharing their story, their passion, and of course what goes into making their food unforgettable. It's always inspiring to hear our local businesses like yours, bring creativity and flavour to the heart of Cardiff, and proving that great street food is about so much more than just what's on the plate. If you haven't checked them out, you can find them in Cardiff Market. It's definitely worth a visit. Would you like to wrap up with anything or highlight anything?
I think we already mentioned it. I was going to say, obviously, about if anyone's listening, the night market this Saturday. That's a good, shout out.
What are the hours for the night market?
Oh, I actually can't remember. Do you know what they are? They're 5 till 9.
There we go.
Please don't trust us. Go on the Cardiff
Have a look and check
Instagram.
it out.
I will be putting a post up probably tomorrow, so I'll find out for sure what the times are. It's usually 5 till 9, isn't it?
9:30, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
We've got one more track we can play, so you can either play Pyramid of Health or Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
Oh no, go on, you. I
Go
love
for-
Tracy. No. You do it.
Which one?
I reckon they'll. I don't know. You choose.
I let the engineer choose. You pick, love. Sorry we didn't have time to do all of your songs.
I told you I waffle on a lot, so.
No, it was great. One of the best interviews, thank you. So, which one are you choosing, engineer? Pyramid of Health by the Viagra Boys.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce it?
This is Pyramid of Health by Viagra Boys. I went to see them. They played in Cardiff last year, and I've been obsessed ever since. So this is my
It's
jam.
a good choice.
Yeah.
It's your favourite song. We're going to end on a great song. Thank you for coming in. I
Thanks for
think you
having
guys
us.
are
Thank
great.
you for having us. It's been.
Radio Cardiff, hot in on the airwaves.